Hello, ladies.
Peace, everybody.
Hi, Auntie.
Welcome to episode 22 of Auntie Listen. Our quote for today is always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate it. And that was by Bruce Lee. What do you think of the quote?
Come on, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was one of a kind.
Yes, he
He was
was. That
definitely
he
one of a kind.
Yes, that he was. I
I
was
like
like,
his quote.
yeah, I saw that was like, oh, that is such a cool quote. I have to use that one.
Just because it took me a long time to get there, I spent a lot of my years wanting to be other people.
Mm,
I can fully appreciate that now.
right. So, Auntie Marva, you wanna hand it? I'm hand it over to you for announcements.
Sure. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining us here at Auntie Listen podcast. Um, I've been practicing. I said that because I've been practicing my voice to try to come up with a new sound for my voice, but maybe not. Anyway,
No, I like it. Go with it.
okay, cool. Thank you guys for joining us here at Auntie Listen podcast. We meet up here once a month to share with you thoughts and ideas and different perspectives on different topics that we like to speak on and share those thoughts with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow us on all of our YouTube, IG, Twitter, X known as Twitter, and TikTok platforms. You can follow us on YouTube at Auntie Listen Podcast, IG at Auntie Listen, X Aunt List 52888, TikTok Auntie Listen, and Patreon. I always say that. I say that every single time. And I
You
look at it
do.
over and over 13 times before we even start and say Patreon, Patreon, Patreon. And I still be calling them people brand. It's not the other one. It's Patreon, guys. You can follow us on Patreon, Auntie Listen, and you can subscribe. It's only $5, and you'll get access to all of our shows early, way before everybody else. And we want you to click on our affiliate links because they will get you discounts and things, and you can see some of the stuff that we were shopping on. And that's at Amazon, Bed Bath and Beyond, Target, Walgreens, Walmart, and The Great Discovery. And last but not least, we have Auntie Listen merch. We got merch. Yes, we got merch. We got cups and bags and t-shirts and all kinds of cutesies and goodies. So go on over there and get your merch and follow your dogs right here at Auntie Listen podcast. Back to you, Auntie.
Thank you. I like how you started off so soft and then you went like all out when you got to YouTube.
She reminded me of Cassandra.
Who is Wait, who is
That
Cassandra?
Who's
computer,
that?
that computer is on Netflix. Y'all go check that movie out. It's a B movie, but it's a good
She
movie.
Oh,
slightly bipolar too.
She was, I'll just say, just go check out the movie.
check it
You might be
out.
mad when you watch it, but
See, that's why I don't want to watch it right there because I just know it's gonna make me mad. I know she
no,
is.
what I just said, your voice sounded like you. I said you reminded me of her, but
Oh.
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just watch the movie.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about that. It's pretty good though, for real.
Is it
Yeah.
okay? That was so funny.
Had to make sure they
Okay,
heard that part and make sure they heard the part that's important.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, so for food around the world, we are going to Poland. And we are going to have is a cheesecake from Poland, stemming from old Christian and Jewish traditions. It is made with eggs, sugar, and twarg. Hopefully, I pronounced it that correctly. A type of curd cheese that has been used in desserts for hundreds of years. It is believed that Cernik originated in the 17th century when King John III Sobieski brought the recipe with him after his victory against the Turks at the Battle of Vienna. And then from Poland, we're heading over to Egypt to have Egyptian falafel, often touted as the original version of falafels. Tameya is an Egyptian variety of the Middle Eastern fritter that calls for fava beans instead of chickpeas. While the exact origin of falafel is debatable, most scholars and food historians agree that tamaya has its roots in the Egyptian cuisine, and the recipes will be in the descriptions. So I know you guys weren't thrilled about the Dutch fruit cake.
Mm-mm. And you never have to mention it again, I promise.
On my good Lord, you don't. Right? I'm like, why she keep reminding us?
Sorry, Dutch family, but no.
I actually like the Dutch. I even like me some that one song
Dutch
past the
chocolate,
Dutch. But I just
double
don't
Dutch
want no parts
bus.
of folks they pound fruitcake.
So what do you guys think
Both those sound good.
about this one? Okay, both of those
Yeah.
sound good.
Yeah, I like
Uh,
a good falafel.
You know what I
yeah.
thought of though when you said that about the falafel? Because I know falafel is a Mediterranean thing, but I never thought of a specific country, right?
Uh-huh.
So I was sitting here wondering. It sounds like they probably have ongoing beef as to whose falafel is best, like how some African countries talk about their jollof rice.
Jollof rice. Yep.
Yes.
Yes, so I
Yes.
wonder about that.
Yes.
I would like to taste them for myself. I'll tell them. I'll let them know.
You'll let them know.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so today's topic comes from me, Auntie Destiny. Now I know you guys like to keep it all light and all funny and ha ha ha, and that's fine. But you know me, I'm all about healing. So our topic today is going to be on healing your inner child. And so I came across this article, and it was in the Health Cleveland Clinic, and it's called Inner Child, How to Heal Your Inner Child. And the first thing that they say is to identify your emotional triggers. Come to terms with your regrets and allow yourself to be a kid again. If our needs weren't met when we were young, those memories and experiences can have a way of sticking around and resurfacing long into our adulthood. That's because who we've become as adults is directly informed by our childhood experiences. So what do you guys think about that statement? And do you recognize your emotional triggers? Auntie Janisha?
Okay, I'm sorry. I
You
was
were
holding
muted.
still.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, I do. Haven't quite harnessed all of them yet. I know that as far as my inner child, for a long time I tried to suppress things because I should be more mature and stuff like that. But I find that I'm kinder to myself and to others when I am being me. And me is very much a child, right? Like
Mhm.
I'm mature, I get things done, but I like to play. I embrace that part of myself and I don't suppress me as much. I don't know if I'm
Mm,
explaining that. The rabbit hole goes deep on it.
right.
But
No,
yeah,
you
I let her out. She plays. We play together.
okay. Auntie Marva?
I just learned that I'm still healing my inner child. I thought I was a lot further along than I realized, and to be honest, my son is what made me realize that.
Mm,
A lot of things. My son is opening my eyes to a lot of things when it comes to my inner child, and lots of unresolved issues that I thought were resolved. They were just suppressed.
Mhm.
Lots of um, mini triggers,
Yeah.
mini triggers that I didn't realize were triggers. And I think prior to him coming, where those same things didn't bother me, but now I realize not only do they bother me, but it what's it I get angry.
Mm.
It's like the mama bear comes out, but the
Yeah.
mama bear comes out so strong, and it always results back to, because I'm always thinking I didn't have this when we were little, or nobody did this for me when I was little, so I got to do this for him.
Right.
Little things like that. I was saddened. I ain't. This not gonna be. I'm not gonna go deep like I have before in the past, but I was saddened a couple of months ago because this very conversation that we're having, it made me realize just how much work I need to do on
Mhm.
myself, and that I have not, like I said, I have not gone as far as I thought I'd gone. We all need work. Ain't nobody perfect, you know.
Right.
We all suppress things and think that we're done with them, and realize that we ain't do nothing but pile up a whole bunch of work and everyday life on top of it.
Right.
But he is forcing me to really, really face a lot of things that I should have dealt with a long time ago. But I realized that I could not deal with them because I didn't want to. One, I was afraid. But for his sake, I really do want him to have a much better childhood. I don't know if I can give him a great life, but I can definitely give him a better childhood, better than I had.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm trying to talk without talking, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because I know the last time I shared, I think I about sent my sister in the shock.
I know, right?
It's all right.
So that's fine. That's
And that,
fine.
and again, that's only because Auntie Janisha, I thought we had that conversation, but I realized it wasn't you that I had that conversation with years ago. That was with my other sister. But nonetheless, he is definitely opening my eyes to a lot of unresolved wounds that I should have taken the time to really focus on before now. But
Mhm.
better late than never. What we gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
So I
Exactly.
have a question.
Sure. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Um, it sounds like you were aware of all, if not most, if not all, of the things that you need to work on. That's what it sounds like. But is there some things that he's uncovered that you did not realize?
Yeah. No, I did think some of the things that I was okay with. I have a bit of an anger issue. And I don't take that out on him, but I do take it out on, I notice I take it out on other people because I tread lightly with him because I really want him to have a childhood. I really want him to be free with his imagination. I want him to be, I just want him. I do want him to be purposeful and focused, and I want to make sure I do push him a little hard, but it's only because I realize he's aware. And so I don't want to limit him. I don't want him to hold him back. I don't want to stand in his way in any way. But I do notice that I have to redirect myself a lot. And
Mhm.
then I've noticed that I've lashed out at people that didn't deserve it. And the way I lash out, I've lashed out. Like I'm at a place in my life that I quickly try to assess things right away.
Mhm.
Like if I see something, I'll take some time and sit and be like, okay, why that happened? And what triggered it, right? And
Mhm.
that's just because of I want to be greater later.
Right.
So I be trying to deal with things at the moment, like at the moment they come up, I be trying to deal with them right away because I don't want to pile more on top of what's all of the other damage that was already back there. And again, some of the things that I've dealt with, I didn't realize were a trigger. I didn't realize that I had an issue with that
Mhm.
with them. And I can't really pinpoint any right now off the top of the head, but I've had these thoughts, right? These
Mhm.
thoughts have come to mind like, dang, I didn't even know that bothered me like that. So yes, I some of them. I did know were there and I didn't do anything about them, but some I did not. Some I did not. I did not. It's just an incident will happen and it's just, and it'll be like, wow, that really made me angry. That made me upset. You know what I'm saying? And I be
Mm-hmm.
caught off guard by it. Like, huh. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
Yeah.
I, I try to make myself at that moment, and I'm glad I'm in this place that I'm forcing myself to deal with things right then and there, because I don't like you know me more than anything, Auntie Janisha. I used to hold a grudge. Like I wouldn't care. Like if you made me angry, you no longer is, you don't even exist to me. Like
Right.
that was me. I am not, I'm so far um displaced from that person that I'm glad I'm in this place to where I can recognize and then deal with a certain thing right now, because like when it happens it's like, whoa, where did that come from and why? You know what I'm saying? Let me focus, let me think, let me think. So I do spend a lot of time self-reflecting, just so I can try to get to the bottom layer of what, because I'd rather go ahead and fix the situation. I don't, and whatever the cost may be, let's fix this now. Even if I gotta cut you off, even if I, you know what I'm saying, I try to operate in solution now,
Right.
and I try to do that at best with everything that I do. I try to live in solution mode versus trying to patch it up. I don't want no more patches no more.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
hope
I had I asked that because as y'all know, my um children are adults. So like your question for me to answer, Auntie Destiny, that takes a whole lot of something, because there's been so many phases from being where Auntie Marva is right now, and I know exactly what she's talking about. And I was an active mom in their life, but I was a passive person
Mm.
with a lot of things. And being that way makes you, um, I appreciate the fact that I was present, right? But
Right.
then being passive and timid on a lot of things, um, it's it's left me with a certain number of regrets. But
Right.
because I was so present, that does cover a multitude of that too. So it's like you have to have some, or I find that I have some balance about it. I find that I have some, but yeah, that's why I want to ask that B part of the question to Auntie Marva. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm on the side of the road getting my truck repaired, so
Oh no,
I
you're
might
fine.
forget to mute. Okay.
So I did, well, let me rephrase that. I thought I did a lot of work on healing my inner child, but every once in a while something will pop up and trigger me. And then I'm like, oh, okay, now I got to work on this. You know? And so working on your inner child, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of commitment. And so here are some ways that you can heal your inner child. Acknowledge your inner child and what they have to say. Understand your triggers. Journal about your experiences. Mirror your motives. Write a letter. Meditate with your inner child. Don't forget about the positives. Try something new. Be childlike. Now, of this list, I have written a letter to my 14-year-old self. I wrote a letter to my 10-year-old self. I need to write a letter to my 4-year-old self, 3 to 4-year-old self, because that's when a lot of stuff happened. But I haven't done that yet. I don't know. I don't know why I am so afraid to write the letter to my 3 to 4-year-old self. I guess it's because I've come so far and it's like I know I put a band aid over that wound. I just don't want to peel back that band aid. But I know at some point I'm going to have to. So, Auntie Janisha, is there anything on this list that you do or thought about doing, or is this list just all new for you?
No, I do a lot of those things. Because like I said, I embrace that part of me. Part of our story is that, well, I'll speak for myself. I feel that I was robbed of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more ways than one. It's because my um our caretaker was very domineering and over the top too much.
Yeah.
So we had a big old fenced in yard, like huge, a lot of bicycles, a lot of everything, but couldn't really play with them. Couldn't really go outside like that. Neighbors that we trusted and our caretaker trusted couldn't really visit. Like, it was all very sparingly. Okay,
You don't have to speak for yourself because I agree with all of that.
okay. I'm sorry I had to speak with my. They just finished with me.
Oh,
Um, yeah. So there was all of that part, and then being the oldest of my siblings, um, I felt responsible for them because there needed to be a buffer between. I wasn't treated as harshly as they were.
okay.
Um, and
But
I
I'm a
just
gangster. Don't forget that I'm a thug and I'm
whatever.
a gangster. And
She's a
She's so
take,
gangster,
silly.
so
take
Wait
more than
your
that.
whatever.
wait your
Anyway.
turn, Auntie Marva. Wait your turn.
And which okay, and that was a part of the thing. They were regular. I was more reserved. Now, I did little sneaky little stuff. I wasn't an angel or whatever. I was a child with child thoughts and whatever. But I also had a mature side of me from when I was very young, and um, because of the way our household was set up, they actually when they came in, because they came in later. This is raised by our grandparents. They gave me purpose
Mm,
because other than that, I actually did not want to be here. I didn't want to live.
right.
And so I became a mom really early of my younger siblings. So that again robbed me of my childhood. But there was purpose in that part of the robbery, right?
Right.
So now when I had my children, then I got to play. I was the only one with kids. Our mom is an only child, so we didn't have like close cousins where I was around younger kids any at all. But when I had my children, oh, you best believe when we go to Chuck E. Cheese, I'm like right in right in the ball pit.
Wow.
I'm
She said Chuck
everywhere,
E. Cheese.
monitoring the kids and stuff, and we had fun together. And a lot of times, even when we would go and hang out and sit in the like a dirt lot or whatever, how young people do. Sometimes my kids are right in the back, right, Auntie Marvel? Like I bring them with me. Like I grew up with my children, but in a responsible way. Like I didn't have them in harm's way or nothing like that, except for a couple of individuals I brought around them,
Mm,
just trying to be a human. But um, yeah, that's how I started living my life. And I will say too, to wrap this up, actually, I started with my younger siblings because I never knew how to interact with younger people, and especially Marva. She's so outgoing, and she never been a gangster. She's just a sweetie, and I learned to really. I had friends through them, even our baby sister's imaginary friends. I used to steal her friends, like imaginary friends, like because everything from me was vicariously
right.
all the way through until my children. So when I had said initially about me letting my child out now, I have nobody that I'm responsible for but me. And that's just what I'm doing with my life now. I've gone back and done just about everything I want to do. And I have an announcement later on if y'all remind me about
Okay.
that one more thing I want to do,
Okay.
being a
Oh,
firefighter. But go ahead.
okay. We'll do that in
Yeah.
open topics. Auntie Marva.
Yes.
First of all, don't ever speak on me. Talking about I ain't no
What?
thug.
Are not.
I know you should have saw her face when you said that.
I'm a
Carrying on.
thug to my soul. You did.
All right.
Triple OG to la DIE. Yeah. So
You
I
so
don't know what
Okay.
she.
silly.
As far as I agree with a lot of what she said, except that. Okay, so we done
That's what
cleared
you
the air. We're gonna
That's where
move
you
on.
draw the line. Okay.
I can honestly say I didn't have to be an adult for a very, 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 very long time. So I pick and chose when. And when I say a very long time, I'm saying all the way up until my late 30s and probably still now. I play a lot and so cuz can't nobody check me, boo. But I can honestly say Auntie Janisha was our first mom figure. This has been said by myself, my baby sister, and my brother. Because, like she said, our guardian was so strong minded and so domineering that she didn't know how to love us. She didn't know how to be friendly. She didn't know how to. She just didn't know. It just wasn't in her. And so I think Auntie Janisha picked up on that and decided, well, since you can't do that for them, I'm gonna do that for them. And I think I've shared in the past like how she would do little things like she used to surprise us with the cutest little things. She don't even eat raisins, but she would make us peanut butter sandwiches with raisin faces, and we was just like,
Mhm.
oh, look at that, she's so cute. Like little, little things like that.
Yeah.
And I knew that that was her trying to add some comfort to our life where there was very little room for it. And I do
Mhm.
mean very little room for it. So, and I did witness her. I'm speaking on her. But it's just, because we were there and I saw it, I did witness her go from being our mom to being a mom of her own children. But also, yeah, it's like she began to play. She began to be a little more relaxed, and she would play, and be the result of that is her children play just as much as we play. Like we, they Aggie just like me. So, and I know she was trying to put some balance, in there, a lot, wanting them to have a same thing I'm doing with mine, wanting them to have a different and a better life, a more fun life than we had. And I realized too, probably all of my passivity probably came from her because I I have my moments where I cannot be passive. I have my moments where I cannot be nice. I have my moments where I cannot be kind. And and it was bad back then because it like there was no middle with me. I was either very, very nice and very, very accommodating because I just wanted to be accepted so bad, or just the complete opposite of that. And whatever you can think of out there, far fetched to the deepest of your imagination of what that is, that's exactly what I was. So it was either really, really good or horribly bad.
Mm.
There was no middle part. But I do know that good, it really came from because I was a copycat. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know who I wanted to be. So I would copy off of those around me. And Janisha was one of the ones that I was closest to me that around that time for a very long period of time, and she was nice. And so I would try to mirror a lot of her personality.
Mm,
A
gotcha.
lot. So much so that I know I got on her nerves with it.
Yeah, that
Not
would
on
drive me
purpose.
crazy.
Not on purpose. I just did not. I just thought that that's what I was supposed to do. Right.
Mhm.
I thought that was. I knew the other personality that was in our life. I didn't want to be that. So she was the next best thing. So,
Right.
um, so a lot of that niceness, I can honestly say it was taught by her. Um, fast forward to now. A lot of the reason why I am the way I am too is because I started to learn people. I started to try and learn people because, and it wasn't for the fact that I was trying to give people a pass at for some of the actions that they carried, give people a pass for some of the things that they did, but literally just trying to have an understanding. You know what I mean? Just to
Right.
have an understanding of, well, I wonder what triggered that. I wonder why he act like that. I wonder why she is always angry. I wonder what's the underlying issue there. And that has caused me to be more patient with people in general.
Mm.
That has caused me to be very, very patient with people because we never know what a person has been through, or we never know what load a person is carrying at that time in their life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
So I will, and I think I've been like that my whole life though, because I'm very calculated. Popular, you know. I am very calculated, right? And I say that to say, if I get to a point where I'm going to do something or I'm going to say something, I've thought about this conversation 17,000 times, front ways, back ways, left, right, up, down, orange, purple, yellow, and green, and I know exactly what I'm about to say, because I purposely don't like hurting people's feelings, but I am also now at a point to where I need to get this off my chest. So I figured out the right way to say this thing. I thought about the proper way to say this thing, and I've prayed about allowing God for my words to get through, right?
Right.
So I said that to say, um, I am very calculated when it comes to when I say something. So that's why I take that time to really look at a person and be like, okay, let me pick and choose this battle. Should I really, really go deeper with this thing? Or is there something deeper with that person that maybe I need to just walk away from this conversation? Maybe I need to back up. Maybe I need to
Mm-hmm.
just, maybe I need to allow them to have this moment, because maybe their load is heavier than mine right now. But again, a lot of that came from Auntie Janisha and me watching her with how she dealt with us when we were little.
Right.
When we were little, yeah, I that's sad too, because I really didn't know who to be. I didn't know who I wanted to be. I don't even know if I'm answering your question right now. But
You're being Cassandra, because that's another trait for Cassandra in that movie on Netflix.
what
Calculating. I'm just saying, y'all need to go see it, and you'll
I'm
see Marva and everything she's saying right now.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
wow.
it's kind of creepy.
Wow. Okay. So, I found this other article, and it's called Eight Ways to Start Healing Your Inner Child. And this one is by Healthline, and they're going to overlap with the first list we read. First,
uh,
acknowledge your inner child.
uh-huh.
Listen to what your inner child has to say.
uh
Write a letter. Give meditation a try. Journal as your inner child. Bring back the joys of childhood. Leave the door open. Talk to a therapist. So, what do you
Man,
think of that list, Auntie Janisha?
I never thought about journaling as my inner child. That's one. That's why I don't even know if I could, but I'm gonna give that a try.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else off that list resonates with you
Um,
besides journaling as your inner child?
I know that therapy has been hard for me. I am easy to open up and start talking. I know that at some point I realized I was not connected with what I was saying. I would just speak on things when asked or
Hmm.
whatever because of firsthand knowledge. But it's almost like I was talking about somebody else. I realized that about me. And I don't know if other people who were hearing, well, there's one person in particular that made me realize it. But as far as everybody else, I don't know if they received it in that way. But every time then I started responding to things about myself or inserting things about myself, I would hear it here and there. That gosh, I'm responding like I'm talking about somebody else. As
Mm,
if I don't have the feelings for real for what I'm saying.
right.
Like it's just like, But therapy though is one I have tried that I've always been open to it, but I almost feel like I'm whining or something. Like I just need to just move on, and I think that's a part of it too. The disconnect with how I feel about myself. I just need to push on, right?
Mm,
So it's been kind of weird for me to just talk about it in that way to somebody who is professional.
gotcha. Auntie Marva,
I haven't done anything on that list other than journal.
but have you journaled as your inner child? That's the difference.
I haven't journaled as my inner child. I journaled as a child.
Okay.
I did. I used to journal, but I stopped journaling because as a child, I stopped journaling because our guardian found it
Mm-hmm.
and I got whooped.
Mm-hmm. So, but this one is saying as an adult to journal
Yeah,
as your yeah.
I
So pick an age. See, this is what I did when I had to write my letter. The therapist that I was working with at the time, he said, pick an age and write a letter to your inner child at that age. Have you tried that? Either one.
I never journaled as like picked an age to write as that age. No, no.
Okay.
I've never written a letter to myself. No, I haven't done any of that. I have
So,
seen a therapist. I have seen a therapist before.
mhm.
But nothing else on that list I've never done.
Yeah, so the therapist that I was working with, he said, pick an age where you were where you felt the most scared, vulnerable, and write a letter to yourself at that age and let them know that their feelings are valid and that it's going to be okay. So he said, start off with how you're feeling at that age and then bring it to you now to show what their life is going to look like, that they're not always going to be in this situation, that they will overcome all of these things, and that these feelings that they're feeling right now are just temporary.
So that poses a problem for me because it goes back to me realizing that I'm really not healed, right? I don't remember a lot of stuff. I've packed it away so deep that we had a neighbor that was telling us about an incident, and she often talked about this thing. And for the life of me, I don't know what this woman is talking about. And I asked her on numerous occasions. She's deceased now, but I before she passed, she would bring it up. I would ask her, "Was I around when that happened? Where was I when that happened? What did I do? Was I with? Did you see me when it happened?" She was like, "Yeah, girl, you was right there." And I don't know what this lady is talking about. I cannot remember this incident at all.
And that's where therapy comes in at. That's where therapy comes in at, because I was in the same boat.
And it was sad. It was triggering what she was saying. It was like, it was awful. But I was like, looking at TV, like, and what happened next? Because I didn't know what she was talking about.
That's where therapy comes in at. Therapy is that safe place for you to go back and to unpack the things that you have forgotten. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I'm not there yet. So,
Yeah, because some of the stuff you really want
but
to.
if you don't unpack them and deal with them, you cannot start the healing process. So don't be giving me that look. So
But that's the weird part.
if you really want to be healed, you have
That
to do the work.
that's the weird part though, Auntie. Like if you don't remember a particular thing happening, then like my issue, part of it is like I've always wanted to go under hypnosis
Mhm.
for this very reason. But I'm afraid because I don't know where it's going to take me.
Mhm.
Like because I know that we have learned, those of us that are interested in it or have heard at least, that our 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 minds suppress things when it's very traumatic, right?
Yes.
So now in the forefront of me just knowing that, maybe I need to leave that right there because I don't know what it's going to do to me. I have such a handle on myself, I think, that I don't want to be unnerved. I don't want to be rattled. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. So I have a fear. And I don't know if
W-
that's what Auntie Marva it may be with that too, because I hear a little apprehension in her, but
Yeah.
that's the thing that I've thought about. Some of the stuff that I can't remember, I don't want to dig.
But okay, so you know how you say, you know, the the mind protects us from those traumatic events, and
Hmm.
but it also brings them to the surface. And when it comes to the surface, that's the time for us to work on it. And that's why I'm saying therapy is a safe place to work on that.
Right.
Yeah.
But once the hour
Yeah.
is over, the hour is over with that person, and you got to be out in the real world with the knowing of
But
this thing.
yes,
Like this is
but
a real thing now.
yes,
You
but
know.
if you have a good therapist, that therapist will give you tools to help you work on and heal from that. And it's not going to take an hour. It's going to take some sessions now. Don't think it's going to just an
Well,
hour
I
and,
mean,
oh, I'm
when it comes
cured.
out,
Yes.
we're 55 minutes in, and now I've had the breakthrough. Oh my God, it all just came back to me. And then 5 minutes later, well, our time is up. I'm just being crazy because I imagine, somebody won't let you walk away in such a state. But at the same time, it'll just be on me now. Something
Yes.
that for some reason I don't remember.
Right.
And I don't know. And maybe it's because of at this age, I've been okay without remembering all the details. Therefore, I'm good.
You're
Yeah.
good. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
You say that,
Yeah.
but you know how the universe works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next article I came across is called "Do You Love Yourself Enough? Here are 25 signs you don't," and it is by
Oh,
newwayscenter.com.
Jesus. Okay.
She's like, why? Why did I show up today? Okay, number one, you feel bad about taking time for yourself. Number two, you tell yourself you're not good, pretty, or smart enough. You apologize continually for things that don't need an apology. You put everyone else first at the expense of your own needs and wants. You compare yourself unfavorably to others. You need permission to make self care a priority. You feel guilty about spending money on fun things. You pack your schedule so full because you can't stand quiet. You have no idea what your purpose is or what sets your soul on fire. To know you need to know what others decide before you make a decision. You beat yourself up for past failings. You think you have no gifts or talents or play them down. You're self critical, only seeing your flaws and feeling unworthy. You lack self-confidence, so you never try anything that feels risky. You find it very difficult to stand up for yourself. You avoid introspection and soul searching. You blame circumstances or someone else, never seeing your contribution to a problem. You often say, I can't. You need others to validate you. I'm nothing if he doesn't approve of me. You hide your feelings and thoughts so people don't know the real you. You feel like you're just existing and getting by. You keep punishing yourself over the past. You neglect your health and appearance. You quit learning and improving because you think, what's the use? And the last one, you can't trust your gut or intuition as you always second guess yourself. Auntie Janisha,
Um,
how do you feel about this list?
yeah, so when you first started out, some of that was me, and then you lost me because I've always been strong-minded as far as what I knew I wanted,
Mhm.
and that I knew I should be loved a certain way. And so yeah, no, 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 no. Just maybe the first few. I didn't even count them. I wish I had.
Okay. So the
But yeah.
first few, you love yourself a little bit.
Yeah, no, 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 no. The fact
more
that I
more
don't have, I only have a few on the list is what I'm saying. I love
I'm
myself
just
a lot
teasing.
more, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
than
just
that.
teasing. I'm just teasing.
I
No.
think
Yeah.
what I was to go along with what I was saying earlier. Like I've caught myself watching movies or seeing. I get excited for other people more than I get excited for my life.
Mhm.
I like to watch, and I don't know if this probably because I'm used to it, but I genuinely do I enjoy people seeing people happy and comfortable. So I like being the hostess more than I like being celebrated, or
Yeah.
I like supporting people, even though I can be bossy. I'd rather be a support person.
Yeah.
I only just jump in there when I see things. Well, this need to be done, so I jump and do it. But I really just support and help.
Yes. Yes. When
I like people happy.
yes. Yes. Auntie Marva,
About 90% of that list was a hard no. But
a
the
heart.
ones that, yeah, like nah, like the pimping me strong, the gangster me strong. I love me in all my roles. Like it took me some time to get there. I can honestly say in the past that list was really, really, really very relevant.
Mhm.
Very relevant in the past. But now, now, child, boo, I wish somebody would tell me. I wish you would. I wish you would tell me and my fat rolls ain't fine. Child, boo, grits ain't gravy.
What'd you say, Auntie Marva? Bye, Felicia.
Child, boo. Me and all my big rolls is super sexy. But there are a couple on there that are like they were really big, like overpacking my schedule so
Mhm.
that I don't have to focus on certain things. I don't keep up with my appearance as much, only when like I have to. Like when
Mm.
I go to
Yeah.
work or that's about it.
Oh, okay.
Like if it's work related, then yeah, I look cute, and I will actually make an effort of really being cute. But outside of that, you see how I look on this camera. This is all you gonna get.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of them that, like she said, and it was in the beginning that I was like, ooh, dang, I'm not gonna like this list. But then you started
Yeah.
going
I
out
will.
west. You start you started going west, and I was like, "No, that ain't your dog. That ain't me." uh I wish somebody would tell me I ain't who ain't cute, girl. Please.
Yeah, because I tell you too, I always thought other kids were kind of dumb because they did kid stuff. I sit back and be like, no, no, no. Nobody taught y'all manners or nobody, you know what I'm saying? Or why would y'all do that? Why are you coloring outside the lines? Those kinds of things was me as a little
Ri-
kid. I
yeah.
was, and I didn't act like that on the outside, but that's what I was thinking on the inside because I didn't know how to interact. And had I interacted, I probably would have been a bully.
You would have been a brat.
Ooh.
I probably, yeah, but I kept me inside and I really just watched people.
Auntie Johnny, that may be a Capricorn thing because I do the same thing.
They so
When I
dumb.
see people, I'm like, why are you why are you doing that? That does not make that's not logical. Why would you do that? So that may be a Capricorn thing.
Yeah,
So
walking in a line. Ugh, that's wrong.
right,
That's wrong.
it's just
I have to
like
walk in this line. I know how to walk down the hallway without acting a fool.
Now,
right.
now I always felt like I felt that too. I always knew that I was much smarter than the average, and that's not being cocky. I knew I was smarter, but I felt bad for the ones that did not have my intelligence. Like mine was pity.
Mm,
Mine was pity. I just feel like, oh, look at that chicken scratch.
uh-uh.
Let me help you. Let me show you how to write
That's
that over.
that's funny. So the one thing on this list that I do this all the time. the only thing on this list that I do is I apologize for things that don't need an apology. That is the one thing on the list I do.
Yep, I
Now
agree with
I'm,
you.
I'm laughing because now the cancer in me is apologizing because let me go ahead and apologize and nip this in the bud because I'm about to go Super Saiyan.
So
I'm
you
about to go
apologize.
Hulk. I'm about to go Hulk. I'm about to go Incredible Hulk in here. I'm finna go to prison. Let me just apologize and walk away. I don't care if you think I'm scary. I don't care if you think I'm scared. I don't want to go to prison today. So let me just, you right. You know what? It's yours. I'm sorry. My bad. I should have never even said that. Now she trying to send me to the penitentiary.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That's so funny. Cancers are a funny breed. You know that saying, how can you love someone else when you don't if you don't love yourself?
Yeah.
So I came across this article. I don't know how I feel about this article, but it's like, actually, no, you don't need to love yourself before you can love someone else. I'm like, excuse you.
I agree with that. I've always
I do
agreed with
too.
that.
Me too. Me too. I have
You can
always agreed
definitely
with
love
that.
somebody and not love yourself. That's what that whole list was about.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
The
excuse
possibility of that.
Yeah. I've been guilty of loving overly loving someone more than and not sharing some of that love with myself, and that's how I got taken advantage of.
you. See, I think for me is I just feel like if I don't I just don't want to make a mistake when it comes to my partner.
What do you mean? Let's elaborate.
I don't want to pick a bad partner. I grew up in an abusive environment. I don't want to be in an abusive environment with my partner. So that is why I took 10 years to work on myself, because I wanted to learn how to love myself, because I felt that I needed to learn to love myself before I could bring someone else into my life, because I don't want to be with another damaged person and we're just causing more damage to each other. So I was just afraid of making a mistake. But this is what they say: loving yourself means that you know you are valuable and worthy of care without external validation. This doesn't mean that you feel good about yourself all the time, but that you are aware that even if you make mistakes, experience rejection, or do have the perfect body, you are still deserving of good things and relationships. But see, I didn't feel that about myself. I was that other list. I was that 25 list.
Hmm.
I didn't want to bring anybody into my life with that 25 list.
I
Auntie
think that's a
Janisha.
caring space to be. If you have all of those things or many of those things going on, then yeah, I totally see what you're saying about not wanting to bring somebody else into that. So yeah, but I don't overall agree that you can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. And I've heard that so many times, but I've never agreed with that because I knew from being a child how I didn't care much about myself. I could care less. The only reason why I wanted to make sure I was still here is so my siblings could be okay. Then it
Mm,
ended up being my children. And I
right.
finally didn't stop wanting to not be here until I was in my 30s.
Mm,
Prior to that, I didn't care. But I had people that I felt that needed me.
wow. Auntie Marva.
My bad. I had to pretend real quick and be Officer Williams for a second. I missed the last question. I'm sorry.
I said, Did you hear what I read? Because we were just
I
talking
did
about.
read it. I mean,
Okay.
I did hear what the reading. Yes.
Oh, okay. We were just talking about how you about that and how you felt about it. No, she got to be Officer Williams again.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on, because I know you're gonna have to chop this out, Auntie. I'm sorry. I'm
No.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Um, hold on. Let me get him situated again. TV
Okay.
had stopped. The TV had stopped, and so he came and was making me be the officer.
Oh. Oh, that's funny.
That's the joys of having only one kid in the house. I mean, I got to be the other person sometimes. Um,
Right.
uh, okay. What we talking about now? Shoot, my bad.
Okay.
Okay.
No, the article. Yeah, the article I read.
Um, um, um. So
Loving someone and not loving yourself.
Yeah.
right. So I had already. That's what I was saying. I agreed that it's definitely possible to be able to do that because I did that most of my life,
Okay.
child and young adult. I did that most of my life. So when people always say you can't love nobody until you love yourself, there is truth in that because you are not properly loving yourself when you are overly loving someone else. But it still is very much a doable thing because I did it. I loved someone. I was not loving me, but I definitely loved someone and I gave them what I thought was my all. It was my all. It wasn't even a thought. I gave them my all, but the reason why it wasn't love was because I was not reciprocating. It wasn't
Mm,
reciprocated. I mean, I wasn't getting anything in return. They was just taking and taking and taking because my big dumb rump was giving, giving and giving. So yeah, it's. I never agreed with that. I never felt like someone wasn't capable of loving somebody when they can't love themselves because I'm guilty.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I came across this other article, and it's called "Why It Can Be Harmful to Think You Must Love Someone Before Loving Others." And it says, oh, I forgot to put the link in. I'll get the link for that one. And it says, self love is undoubtedly beneficial for nurturing healthy connections, but it doesn't necessarily have to be achieved before experiencing the love of another. Believing you need to love yourself and be sufficiently healed before dating or loving others may keep you back from the relationships that can actually support your healing, as the healing journey is often slow and long. So I read that and I was like, because the 10 years that I was working on myself, I wasn't getting into I wasn't in any relationships. I wasn't interested in being in any relationships because the only relationship I was interested in was learning and healing and loving me. So I was thinking about that and I was like, I probably missed out on a lot, but at the same time I gained a lot by not being in relationships. So what do you think about that, Auntie Janisha?
Yeah, I follow what that article is saying, and then also what you just said, because you do gain a lot by focusing on self, but then you also gain things by learning what you don't like when dealing with other people, and also what they can bring to you that you had no idea that you would even appreciate, right?
Right,
Because people have their own love language and how they give love, and it may be something you were not even aware that you needed, let alone what you may have wanted, right? Because you
right.
never experienced it before, but through them, you were given the opportunity. So I do understand what the and I'm a person that I've been married more than one time, and I don't deprive myself of relationship. Um, and doing things that I would like to do, and jobs and businesses, everything. I just, if I feel it, I'll go, you know, um, because I don't ever want to look up and say, I wish I had, you know.
Mm, right.
So it's, I appreciate experiences
Mm.
with
See,
this.
that's
Yeah.
that's the one thing I don't regret it at all. And and I look back on those experiences as some really great I look at it as a great experience. I don't have any regrets and but no, mm-mm. Auntie Marva.
I was late. I was very late. I was late on everything. I was late to losing my virginity. I was late getting a boyfriend. Hell, I was late getting titties. I was late, and that
That was such
latency.
an auntie thing to say. I love it. That's why we aunties.
I was so late at getting everything that I stayed away from relationships because in my mind I didn't know how to do it. Hold on, let me close this door because he's singing, and I know it's gonna be hard for you to edit out. I was um I was very late when it came to relationships because I didn't know how to relationship. So I continued to stay away from relationships. But that was dumb because when I decided to get in a relationship, I just went into a relationship thinking I'm just going to take the next relationship, I'm just going to get it and try it. Yeah, I ended up in an abusive marriage.
Mm,
Stupid. Dumber than a box of rocks, just dumb as hell. So I avoided relationships for a very long time because I felt like I didn't know how to be in a relationship. And I was so afraid of relationships because I was also looking at other relationships around me and other relationships that had been put in front of me, that my whole life that I was like, I'm good on all that. I don't want none of that. Y'all keep that over there. And then I was angry at myself because I was like, dang, I was timid, right? Fear.
mm,
I should have just jumped. I should have just tried this a long time ago and I would not be here because I realized those younger people who try little things like walking up to a girl and asking her out or asking for her phone number or little things like that and dealing with rejection and trying again. When you experience that stuff at a very, very, very young age, you are so much more mature when you
mm,
get older. We were prevented from from experiencing any of that, and then I neglected myself by allowing myself to experience any of that in my 20s. That I was just I remember saying I'm dumb. I don't know how to be in a relationship, so I'm not gonna relationship, and continued that path even longer. Like it was dumb. It was very dumb of me to do what I did because I really, when it came time for me to do it, I just jumped and there was no assessment. There was no. It was just. It was just rocks, dumb box of rocks, just dumb. And
mm,
so, to anybody, I recommend start practicing. And I don't want to say practice as far as being in the relationships because, like Auntie Janisha said, she didn't deprive herself. But and she really appreciated those relationships. I understand what you say, Auntie, by you saying you appreciated the time away from relationships. But just me personally, I felt like I did myself an injustice by not attempting to try because, you know, practice make permanent, practice make perfect, but and
right.
then and then practice make permanent. So I feel like I probably would have been way more advanced had I started along a lot sooner than when I did, because I just ran into all kinds of walls, dumb, just
Right.
dumb.
Well, but you weren't dumb. It
Oh
was
yeah,
he it's just that he was who you were supposed to be with for that season
you should
But
have seen some of them monkeys, Auntie.
for
Mm-mm.
you to learn.
but but
Because
okay,
what is that
sorry.
saying say? People come to us for a season and a reason.
That
So
is true.
Yes.
he was your season and your reason.
But I am a
It's
firm believer of, I know they say everything happened for a reason, right? But I'm also
Yeah.
a firm believer of you don't have to go through certain things. Had I been aware and really assessed the situation, I would not have married him.
Right. You ignored all the red flags.
Everything just ran right into that wall, just face first. Dumb.
Red flag was popping up. You turn
That
into a
red flag was tied around my forehead, and I had it over one eye as a patch, eye patch, and I still.
what you say you look like a pirate?
I was a whole pirate with that red flag do rag tied around my head, and I still, yeah, we could get married. What? Ah.
Oh, what were you gonna say, Auntie Janisha? Did we
Oh,
lose you, Auntie
I,
Janisha?
I think we lost. Oh, there
Am
she
I
go.
still here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna say it's funny listening to Auntie Marva. It seems like how she went about it would have been the way that I went about it, and how I went about it, because she was a lot more free to explore because she had somebody watching her back. But I know why I did. I have lived my life the way I have with um, exploring. I like when you were reading the thing about as far as self love. That's how I know I actually do have a love for myself. That um, it wasn't loathing for myself. It was just a not wanting to be here. I wasn't
Mm,
impressed. Right? It wasn't
right.
my me looking at me. The reason why I didn't want to be here, it was me looking at other things. That's why, and I
Mm.
just didn't want to be a part of it. But I wanted a family for myself. That's what I was. So that's why
Oh,
I took the leap and explored, because I knew it was possible. I knew there was somebody out there that would value it the little bit that I thought I knew about it. You know what I mean?
right.
And I was wondering when Auntie Marvel was speaking, the reason why she didn't take the leap is because she had the luxury of not having to take the leap. She
Right.
was free. She didn't have children early. She was a Miss Congeniality. So she didn't have to settle anywhere. That's how I always saw you, Auntie Marva.
Really?
Yeah, like you were all over the place. You've been everywhere, different countries, and you've done so many things that people look up to you for, that me as your older sister by years, I've admired you and supported you and been so much happier about your life and excited than my own life, because I just thought I was doing regular stuff. You didn't have to settle anywhere because you were doing the stuff.
Girl, I was running.
She
I
said
can
she
see
was
that too,
running.
but it was still a fulfillment going on,
It
you
was. It
know?
was. I was. I agree, and thank you for saying that. I didn't. I can kind of see it like that. I later in life, I decided. I think it was more of that, but early on, I really was running. I was just running as fast as I can and not trying to look back. But
Hmm.
yes, I thank you for saying that. I did want it. I did turn and try to make it more meaningful, more purposeful, right?
Hmm.
Not just run. But yeah.
So the last article that I read is called "Why Can't I Love Myself the Way I Love Others?" And it says, think about someone you really love. Maybe it's your partner, your mom, or your best friend. Take a moment and truly feel the love that you have for them, that deep. I'd do anything for you kind of love. What is self love all about? You never learned about self love. You think it's selfish to love yourself. Those are some bullet points. And then the other bullet points are, how happy am I with myself? How happy am I really with the things that I do for myself? Am I putting any of my needs or desires on the back burner? If so, how do I feel about it? And the last one, you're unable to accept love from yourself. You believe that love comes only from others. uncover your roadblocks to self-love. I like this article because it came with the worksheet that you have to do. And I love my worksheets.
Yeah.
So
Our,
Auntie
our
Janisha,
listeners gonna be able to find that. Can we also find that in the show notes?
yes, it's gonna be in the link in the description.
Okay.
So Auntie Janisha, what do you think about that?
I think each of those deserves their own like space.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know. Though I like that one because it has different aspects, like octopus arms to explore. So
Yes.
I would actually like to just sit down and go through those. So
Yes.
those are good. Those are good. The first one though about someone that you love.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that more than yourself or something like that?
Oh, think about someone you really love.
Really love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, it took me forever. Although I've been married more than one time, I knew that I didn't love. Let me just say this. Okay, so my first husband, he knew, who was a good friend of mine. He knew that I didn't love him when we got married. We got married, and I thought it would
Okay.
come later. It did not. And nah, 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 nah. So, but I learned probably in my 40s that I had never been in love before, which was
Mm.
so wild. That blew me away. Hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Had not done it. And it finally hit me um, just a few years ago that I actually loved somebody late in
Wow.
life. Was in love with somebody. Let me say it like that because there was a difference. I thought I had felt that already. No. So that it's yeah, it's just the depths of love, that
Mm-hmm.
thing. And that's what I thought of when you initially said that.
Yeah. Auntie Marva.
I I'm sorry, I'm plugging up my phone too because it's trying to go dead real quick. But okay. I I was laughing at you said somebody that you really love because uh either you love them or you don't. So you
Well,
said,
no, not really, because you can love someone but not be in love with them. Like my past two relationships, I love them like I love dark chocolate with hazelnuts, but I wasn't in love with them.
but see, that's I guess that goes back to the cancer with me in me because I see it differently. Either I love you or get away from me before I. Because when I'm done. So that's why I kind of laugh like, really love him? What you mean, really love? I don't understand that. Either we rocking or we ain't. What we
Oh, wow.
talking about?
Wow.
But I think that's probably why I'm not much of a cheater. Like I can't really, you know what I'm saying? That's it, much of a cheater. See,
See,
same thing,
I'm
same
right. I'm
difference,
like, you're either a cheater or you're not. That's
same
like
difference.
that's like kind of being pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just 20% pregnant. I ain't all the way in there yet.
That's what he said.
Wow. Mm, 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 mm. She's so crazy. So, are you done, Auntie Marva?
Yeah, but no, yeah, but I
Okay.
don't.
With
Yeah,
your,
I'm just,
She's
I'm a
so
little,
amused.
she
I'm a little.
is your crazy self. So, Auntie Janisha, when you were saying that, it reminded me of this line in this movie. It's called "The Mirror Has Two Faces,"
Hmm.
and it stars Barbara Streisand, um, Jeff Bridges. Oh my gosh, he was James Bond. He was also Remington Steele.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yes,
Why does his name
him.
come to me so fast?
Yes, him and Lauren Bacall. So Lauren Bacall was the mother, and Barbara Streisand and Jeff Bridges was they were married, but it wasn't a marriage of love. It was more of a marriage of convenience because he was this mathematician professor, and he wanted to see if he can have a marriage without all of the coitus and all the love and all of that. He just wanted to be with someone that he can talk to and just have a friendship. It was a marriage of friendship. And so there is this scene where Barbara Streisand goes back to her the mom's apartment because she was living with the mom, and they were sitting at the kitchen table and they were talking, and the mom says to her, Lauren Bacall says to Barbara Streisand, "You know that feeling you have for Gregory?" And she says, "Yeah." She says, "I've never had that feeling." She says, "Not even with your father." So, because Barbara Streisand, her character was in love with Jeff Bridges' character. And so when you were saying that scene popped into my head. But we have to move on. This was a good topic. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And we
I
are
did.
going to our segment. So our first one is loving connections, building better relationships. And for this one, we are having an electronic free night. So put your mobiles in a basket, turn off the TV, light the fireplace if you have one, and just enjoy your quiet, non electronic night. Over
Okay.
to Auntie Marva for Career Corner. Oh,
Hey, y'all, I was having a sneezing spell over here.
oh,
Uh,
what?
Thank you. So, I have three opportunities for you guys this evening. Um, the first one is with the United States Postal Service. I came across a lead called it's called a technical, hold on one second, I'm sorry. It's called a territory representative. And the territory representative, I came across this, obviously, I'm searching for the state of Florida. It's located in Vero Beach. But then I was like, wait, let me go dig a little deeper because it's the United States Postal Service. They're all over the country. So let's see what else we can find. The territory representative does not have a lot, it doesn't have a lot of requirements, right? You just need to have a decent driver's license, and they have the basic stuff like ability to communicate, collaborate with cross-functional teams. They would like for you to have some market research and intelligence background, but there is no like degree or anything required for it. So, but then I went a step further and just went to their website, and then they are hiring for carriers. And you would think that they wouldn't, right? Because Amazon be doing what they do and stuff, but people are still receiving letters, actual letters. It is still very, very relevant and prevalent in the credit card world and, court systems and all that good stuff. Most people have not gone green, so they still need carriers. So you'll find those two links in the description. And then I got for y'all Verizon. Verizon is hiring for retail store representatives. Retail sales representatives. This particular one again is in Florida. I found this one for a couple of cities in Florida, but I went to the website and they are all across the country as well. So they is looking for folks that can sell their product. So if you go in the description, you'll see a link for that one. And last but not least, Hilton Grand Vacations, of course, they don't have a lot of grand vacation locations around the country, but they do have them along the coast. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but I am so nasally right now. They are looking for vacation sales ambassadors. And these vacation sales ambassadors, again, don't need none of these opportunities that I'm sharing with y'all require has major requirements other than the USPS location. You got to have a clean driver's license. But this one, it's sales, and they do all of the training for you. They're gonna it's paid training, and you just got to sell them people property because I do recall most of them uh receiving a commission, so you get an hourly pay plus commission. So yeah, you can make a little extra change, and it is not on location. That one is remote. So click the link, do yourself a favor, and go get your job. You dig?
Yay, because you can't have hers.
Because you cannot have mine.
Okay, Auntie Janisha, we're turning it over to you for what were they thinking?
What were they thinking? All right. Now, I hope you know what? The people that live in Texas, they got to be on my side with this because it don't make no sense. So, Texas is a very weird place to drive in the city. That Dallas Fort Worth area,
Hmm.
their highways are my GPS goes crazy every time I'm there or in St. Louis. But what were they thinking when they redid the roads and the lines? You know how everybody does redo the lines, right?
Yeah.
They redo the lines, but not on top of the old lines. So you don't even know which lane you're in. Have y'all ever experienced? I've never experienced that anywhere but Texas. Like, what's wrong with these people? Because
No.
the remnants is still there. All they had to do was trace it. That's something you learn in kindergarten. Just trace over what's there, people. Nah, they're gonna decide they want to make new ones.
See, that go back to her talking about coloring in the line because
R-
she know how to color in the line, but the rest
But it's
of them
so
don't.
dangerous. We trying to ride on these American streets.
Right.
Texas, they want to have so much Texas pride, but can't even follow their own line. Come on, people. Come
But
on now.
I've seen that in other areas to where there's like more than one lane painted. You can see the new one, but you can also see the old one, and it's very,
Yeah.
very, very, very obvious that it's there. Ah,
Yes.
Yeah. But
That's
this
just
is the thing.
funny.
If it's a new line, okay, I can follow the new line. But these are such that you wonder which one am I actually supposed to be on?
yeah, but that's
Because you
fun to
can
me.
see that's crazy. Yeah, it is if you're in a what is it, Squid Games.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you
And
want to play with yourself.
and
But
and in,
no, no,
and
no.
in a little car, not in a big huge semi. It's not.
Right, with these people trying to, yeah, I, mm-mm.
That sound like Mario
That's
Kart to
a
me.
that's a
Mm-mm.
fail.
Sign me up.
Texas, get it together.
She
Burka
For
burka
said,
real.
earn
"Get it
earn.
together." Mm-mm.
Burka
Okay.
earn.
Mm-mm. Okay. So is next one is I see you, I hear you. So parents, grab your calendar, grab your childrens, and sit down together and pick your night for your and spend 1 hour with a child doing any activity that they want. Back to Auntie Janisha. What do you have for us for Auntie's bookshelf?
Oh, so this is a book I absolutely loved it. It is called Of Water and the Spirit. Of Water and
Mm,
the Spirit. And the author, it's a true story. The author's name is Maladoma Patrice Somé. Um, he was kidnapped when he was 6 years old, and he's African, Nigerian, and he was kidnapped from his village. And in the book, he talks about how a lot of children that we hear about in these orphanages
mm-hmm.
are actually kidnapped children. They are not there
Oh,
because they don't have a place to go, right? And this was back in the 80s, so not far back, right? But he
yeah.
was kidnapped, and the orphanages that they bring them to, their schools that teach them anti their own indigenous culture, which is something that we've heard about here with the Indian schools that's been in the news real heavy.
Right.
and they're taught them Christian values and stuff like that. But anyway, as far as his book, he recounts about how he ends up being a teenager, and then he finally runs away and goes home to his village, and how he had to prove himself now to be back among his people, because he had such a different spirit on him that they could see.
Mm.
Like, he was no longer an African person, but he was more European in nature. And
Wow.
that kind of went against their whole way of life. So he had to be assimilated back into his people. And I love the story. It's a really great story. It's sad how it happened for him and different aspects of it, but it really has a lot of spiritual um, things in it. I'll just say that, a lot of
Oh.
spirituality in the book. But
Oh.
anyway, again, the title is Of Water and the Spirit.
Okay.
Very,
I
very good
will.
story.
I will. That will be found in the description. Sounds like a really good book. So for open topics, um, I only have two. What's something you only do when you're bored, Auntie Janisha?
Oh, um, it's when I'm bored and when I'm thinking, but most of the time that comes together because I am with one of those things that was on that list. I fill my time. So if
Mm.
I'm sitting, I'm thinking of something that I need to be doing or could be doing. I'm always life planning, always. And
Mm.
so it's that. But with that, I found that I bite my nails the most when I'm thinking.
Oh,
So it's twofold.
Auntie Marva.
I'm a nail biter. I'm a nail
Mm.
biter. I bite my nails too. Um, mm, when I'm bored. Um, when I'm bored. What do I do when I'm bored? I just go to sleep when I'm bored.
You just go to sleep.
Yeah, cause I I'm rarely bored.
Right.
I'm not.
Mm.
I ain't gonna hold you. Rarely do I ever get bored.
Right. I usually read or play a game or call somebody.
I will call somebody. I start going through my phone and then we having nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Okay, my last one. What fictional character do you have a beef with? Auntie Janisha.
Ugh, I
I've
can't
been waiting for
stand.
this one.
I can't stand that little mouse on Tom and Jerry.
The little
The
Mexican
the
one.
the little baby one, the little French one. I can't. That
Oh,
little child right there.
ah,
No, no, no. That time when Tom and Jerry both spanked his behind, I was so happy they got him. 'Cause,
that's a shame.
mm-mm.
That is a shame. You're fading out, Auntie Janisha.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be. I don't know if that's my voice. I'm getting over this head cold, or who
No,
knows.
you sound clear sometimes, and then you just sound like you're far away
Okay.
other times.
Might be that little mischievous little mouse, because he was always into something for real though. That's why I couldn't. No, 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 no. Little French stuff. Bye. Just go home now. A tutalure, look out. A tutalure.
Oh,
Au
that's funny.
revoir.
That's funny, Auntie Marva.
Currently, I'm thugging over that girl on that show that Auntie Janisha made me watch the other night. She was, oh, she just made me so mad. I just wanted to just jump through the TV and punch her in the throat. Like
Oh, what?
all of her decisions were so wrong. Every one of them. And I was like, bro, I
You
know I
talking about
messed up.
Behind Her Eyes again?
Yes. You
Behind Her
know
Eyes.
what I'm
That's
talking
also
about.
on Netflix. Yes, for the listeners. Behind
Man.
Her Eyes. That's another movie
Watch
series.
the doggone episode of the season. It's only 6 episodes. And
Yeah.
I promise you, episode 2, you're gonna want to strangle her to sleep because she just oh, she made me so mad. I was just as impressive as the show is and what it's about. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but girl, wake up. What is wrong with you?
Literally.
I just wanted to just beat her down. Let me tell y'all something. I was in awe of the last two episodes because that's when things turn and it starts to escalate. But boy, when I tell you my blood was boiling at the end, I was so mad. I was so mad. I was so mad. And I
Triggered, are
called.
we?
Me and my sister was talking, and I'm like, "Why would you make me watch that? That girl pissed me off so bad. Like I was so angry with her. I went to bed mad. I laid in that bed looking at the ceiling like she got to be the stupidest broad I ever met. Like I was so mad with her. I just want to make a mistake. Yeah, you made a mistake. You just made it's dumb. Oh, I wanted to fight her. I just wanted to fight her. I was so mad.
Oh, that's funny. So mine is Snow White. Oh my gosh, I can't stand anything about Snow White. Her voice is irritating. The whole movie is irritating. I can't stand her. I can't. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. I'm really gonna get in trouble for this one. Mickey Mouse, his voice is irritating.
Now
Ugh.
wait a minute now.
No. Mm-mm.
I always crack
Irritating.
up. I always crack up. You know, at the end of the Mickey Mouse cart productions, where
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse be standing there spinning the wheel on the boat, and he be bouncing his foot, and he be
Yeah.
bouncing, whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little cousin, and when he had to be like 5, 4 or 5, and he was like, "Look at Mickey, Mickey shaking." And I
But
just saw it yesterday, and I fell out laughing thinking about that.
mm-mm.
But now, what did them cartoons ain't did nothing to y'all? Now that don't make no sense. Y'all thugging over cartoons now.
There,
Now, hold on. That little mouse didn't cause more than his share of trouble.
He was just curious. He was a baby. That's what babies
No.
do.
Yeah, no,
mm.
no. You know I love children. But that one right there, because Tom already was catching it. And then he came there making trouble for Jerry, who I didn't especially appreciate. I was always on Tom's side, but I want to shake some sense into him. But that little
Mm-mm.
mouse, he came and made it bad for everybody. Butch ain't even like him. The dog was even annoyed.
Mm-mm.
It was too much.
Yeah. So, Auntie Janisha, you
What's
have
that?
some news. This is your time to share.
Oh no, I don't really have any news. It kind of went with what we were saying, because earlier in the show, whenever I was saying about we talking about our inner child and how I don't deprive myself and all the different businesses and jobs and stuff that I've tried, because
Mm-mm.
I was one of those children that liked a whole lot of things. Like they asked you what you want to be. Oh, I had a list for them always, and I've
Me
done
too.
just about everything on that list. I
No,
really
Auntie. No,
have.
no, Auntie Janisha. Before we even
What?
started the topic,
No, no,
you
no. That's where
said,
it came from. I know exactly because I'm getting to it. And I
"Oh,
said, and with that, I have an announcement, kind of, because I was saying about the inner. We were talking about the inner child, right?
oh, I thought it was
And my,
after. I thought it was before that, but okay.
mm-mm. We were
Oh,
talking about, yeah. Well, the word deprived came much later in the show, but it was a part of that. Like I said, I bring her with me and all this stuff. Yeah, she gets to do all this stuff. So, moving to Oklahoma, and it's in a small town, and they don't have
now you just broke up. We just lost you
apartments.
altogether.
God
What
dog
about
it, maybe
Oklahoma?
y'all ain't supposed to know. I said I'm
Right,
moving to a small town, and they don't have a fire department. It's volunteer firefighters. I've always
right.
wanted to be a firefighter. I am going to volunteer to be a firefighter, and that will fulfill my whole aspiration list of all the stuff I've ever wanted to do as an adult.
You're a strange Capricorn.
Maybe so, but I'm so excited about it. I've been like looking up firefighter stuff and the volunteer situation in rural areas, and oh my God, I'm so excited. Yeah.
Wow. Well, on that note, autism moments here. On that note, well, we we support you in all your endeavors, Auntie
Thank you.
Janisha. Even though I don't want to do that. That just sounds too risky. But
It's all right. As long as it's not my house, I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help.
just trying to help the
That's
community.
all.
I got you. I'm with you. But on that note, guess what? It's at the end. We're at the end again. It's always so sad when we're at the end. So we just hope everyone enjoyed the segment and learned something. And hopefully it was helpful and resonated with someone.
Yeah, it wasn't
But
too heavy.
it wasn't too heavy. Oh, okay.
I don't think so. After all, no.
Oh, okay. Because y'all say you always do heavy stuff. So
Hmm.
I'm just all about the healing. Just all about the healing.
Yeah, and I guess let me do a disclaimer. I guess it wasn't so heavy for me, and I think that I speak to the us here as aunties wasn't that heavy because we talk about these things a lot. We do explore them. But for anybody that's listening that maybe was triggered by anything or, you know, please find somebody you can talk to. And it was not meant to trigger, but just little reflective growth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do care.
Yeah, we do care. And that's why I'm all about the healing and the growing,
Yeah.
you know. And there is no right way or wrong way to, to heal. Your journey is your journey. And you just do things when you're ready to do them. And so, but we will see everyone next month. Looking forward to that. In the
March,
meantime, stay safe, stay
April.
healthy, and we will see you all next month
Yes, in April.
in
Love
April.
y'all.
Ciao for
Peace
now.
out. A tutto loro.